Sharon, before you ask a question, if you ask a question, please state your name and where you live and stand up so we can make sure we report all questions.
Sherry Helstein, live in Westview. Member of Borough. Has REOC been presented with this? Have they inquired about any of this?
They have been presented in the sense that while this was done for Department of Sanitation, I thought it was important to keep REOC in the loop. I forwarded a very full presentation to REOC about a year ago and offered to meet, and no one has asked to meet with me. So REOC knows about it in terms of their having been given this, but they haven't taken the opportunity to explore with me anyway some of these issues.
Matthew Katz, Westview resident. We had a situation in Westview this summer in which the AVAC system broke down for several months. We were told it was a valving problem. We were also told that there was that the fix took so long because there was this Alphonse Gaston routine going on between REOC and the Westview management. Was Envac involved in any of this? And can you shed some light on it?
Envac is involved only in terms of responding to the client. So when either REOC or sanitation calls us in, we will provide the repair or the maintenance that's necessary. But the back and forth with Westview, we would have no part of it. We'd only hear at the end when someone is ready for a part, and we would then come and do the fixing. But we have to be called by either REOC or Disney.
Ultimately, who was your client in this particular situation?
Well, the valve situation is REOC.
It was REOC.
Yeah, REOC is the client typically for upgrade repairs. The problem here, the question that was asked in terms of, it's the same standoff you've got with who cleans the front of the AVAC terminal. REOC pays for capital, sanitation pays for operating. Most of the savings, the immediate savings, will be sanitation's, but it's a capital improvement, and you've got a standoff.
Rosina, the purpose of your presentation here tonight is
well, I was invited in by Chuck Warren and Larry to inform the community on the current status of the condition of repair or disrepair of the AVAC system.
And the outcome you would expect from tonight would be?
That's up to you. For the moment, I am working with Department of Sanitation. They are very eager to have this happen. It's up to you whether you think you want to go talk to REOC and maybe suggest to them that the long-term health of the system, even though it may save sanitation money in the very short run, in the long run, it's the welfare of the island and the welfare of the system long-term.
One more question. To what extent has Cornell expressed disinterest or interest in being connected?
We were contacted in 2012, and it was when Cornell, more than EDC, was running the project. It was the very early part of the project. And it was before Kathy Dove, for example, was here. And so we were contacted by actually a professor at Cornell that was doing sustainability for them with regard to planning, the master plan for Cornell. They called us in. They asked us about the system. We suggested to them that it probably would not be wise for Cornell to hook into this system for a number of reasons. One is that they need a system that would do a lot more than this system can do, and that would be the recycling, that would be running it when they want to run it. Their peak periods and their needs are going to be different than the residents' needs. So what we recommended to them, and we did this working with Skidmore that was doing the master plan, we recommended a new system to them, an independent system with all the bells and whistles that they, as a 21st century technology center, should actually be eager, not just to embrace in terms of servicing their basic garbage needs, but also this is a growing industry. As I said, we've got 700 global installations. This is something their students should know about, pneumatic waste collection. The Wall Street Journal, there are any number of studies that talk about this is the answer to urban waste. This is what 21st century cities must do to be global leaders, to deal with the sanitation issues. The benefits are, and you know, you guys take it for granted, but the benefits are not only does this carry the waste away, but you don't have daily collection trucks, you don't have the CO2 gases, you don't have the noise, you don't have vermin, you don't have rats, you don't have mice. You talk to the guys, I've been taking people to see the new installation in Riverwalk, you talk to the super there. He's never seen a roach, he's never seen a mouse, he's never seen anything. The cleanliness of the system is fantastic. There's no odor. So the benefits are significant if you want to be a 21st century city.
But no outcome from that at this point.
No outcome from that. They decided they're going to handle it differently. I don't know what that means other than trucks up and down the street.
Did you have a question, ma'am?
Yeah, my name is Vivian. I live in Roosevelt Landing, Eastwood.
Oh, you,
And my question is not going to add much more.
Could you speak up a little bit, please?
Yes, I don't think my question is going to help much more, but you say that they're not going to do anything about the shut-off of the sun evac rooms in the buildings?
I'm sorry.
Rework?
We were talking about Cornell, are you?
Right, yeah, for the last part.
Yeah.
But what about in the Roosevelt Landings, there is one building,
Yeah.
the Senior Citizen Center,
Yeah.
in which the evac system has been shut off for at least 5 months.
I'm not aware of that.
And those are the smallest evac rooms of the old buildings. And now, so they attach garbage bags to the handle of the chute, and people put their garbage there, or not. and there's no more recycling possible because the bins dedicated to recycling, which are already too small, are being used to deposit. It's a complete mess for the last. It was before summer. That particular building has been shut off. The evac has been shut off all this time.
I don't know why. I can ask sanitation.
No, I don't know. But, I don't know.
I can ask sanitation, and if there's no question that whatever's wrong can be fixed. No one has asked us about it. No one's told us about it, so I can't answer.
the south end of it's all hooked up supposedly to the system, right?
Yeah. No, she's not talking about Southtown.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She's talking about Eastwood.
I apologize.
So they've closed a valve apparently at Eastwood. I don't know why.
Oh, it's been for
Well,
5
there's-
months.
it's probably for summer.
Yeah,
But
I don't know.
who's picking up, they must be using the system because
Oh.
nobody's picking up the garbage here.
The maintenance with their big bins, the maintenance agents, they bring their big canvas bins to each floor.
Right.
So the second side effect has been that the elevators are inconsistent because
Oh,
they
then-
take a long time, and they empty it by hand, and they also are not very inclined to do any recycling at all. I'm very concerned about recycling, but at this point I understand that so it all comes, and sometimes like during the weekends when they don't do it as often, I mean the site is impossible. Sometimes you can just come inside the evac room. There's no more.
So if I understand you correctly, instead of putting the stuff down the chute, it goes.
No, the chutes are blocked. They are cordoned
Okay,
off.
so there are, okay, so what happens with the material that are in the bins? Who picks that material?
No, inside each evac room, there is one of those janitor's garbage tall
Right,
plastic bags attached to the handle to the chute.
right,
Sometimes it falls, so people just put their garbage over it,
right.
and the rest people, I mean, every bag of garbage, whether
Yeah.
it's recycling or garbage, is.
But
She said maintenance.
And then how does the garbage
So
get off?
The maintenance,
Does the garbage
plus-
trucks take them off?
Yeah,
Or
the
does
staff,
do
the
they-
staff collect, empties every AVAC room into those big rolling stuff.
Right.
I don't know where they take them, probably downstairs in there.
Right.
And,
Okay, 'cause-
so it's not done twice a day, often. I mean, they're trying to. Lately, there's a little progress, it's a little cleaner. There's less stuff accumulating, but sometimes they have other things to do too. And
Here's what we need to know, because does the garbage, once it's collected in the building, ultimately make its way into the AVAC system, or is the Department of
you can
Sanitation?
use, I don't know about the AVAC.
Yes,
In my building, I don't live in 546.
Because we don't
Larry,
see,
this is exactly what happened in Western 4 months. It was collected in the AVAC rooms in large black garbage bags.
Right.
By the staff, who had to do this twice a day instead of doing the regular.
Right.
It was then collected and taken by hand to the AVAC room.
To the AVAC.
Not underground, because that wasn't working.
Send it to the garbage.
okay,
the terminal.
got it. Okay, so,
So, getting back to Dick's question, among the things you guys might want to think about, again, we respond to either REOC or sanitation. But among the things you might want to do is start tracking, you know, what's breaking down and making sure either REOC or sanitation is aware of it and asking for help. If they don't ask us,
Offer a contract, I mean, is there a plan under which Envac would take responsibility for the system over the long haul, rather than being called in individually for individual repair requirements?
sanitation's been running the system really well for 40 years. We do that. We do that for a lot of systems, run it themselves. But I don't think that's the issue. I mean, sanitation knows how to run the system. What they need to do, what someone needs to do is if there's a repair, like a valve replacement, I mean, it sounds like the valve is bad from what she's talking about. Somebody needs to call us in.
and is the valve in the building the sanitation's responsibility or the building's responsibility?
It's not the building's responsibility, it's either REOC or
Okay,
sanitation.
okay.